I like any kind of dip.
Yeah. Thankfully, my son loves those little hummus packs or avocado packs because it makes life so much easier. Because it's like, cool, so many good calories in this, just eat it up. So, yeah, glad he got that from his dad, not me. Aaron, it's good to have you in class again. All right. So this is a really, really big class, everyone. I just want to throw that out there. Last semester when I taught this, I think there were 9 of us, and I think there's 27, 26, 27. So I kind of screwed up. I mean, I don't want to say I screwed up because it's completely fine. But when I taught this class last semester, I had like 7 topics, and everyone just picked a topic and presented on it, right? Easy as can be. And then I'm like, oh, I'll just do the same thing again this semester, right? And then I look at the roster like a week before and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 27 people in the class, which is exciting. But then again, that's why we're going to have groups for presentation, which can also be fun, right? I personally like presenting in groups, but for those of you who maybe don't like it, you'll survive it. I think it'll be fun. But let's get started at 7:15. Thank you all for joining. It's great to see so many new faces as well as so many faces I recognize from last semester. So big class. I promise I won't make you all go around and introduce yourself or things like that, but I will give you an opportunity to connect with your group members, to sign up for presentations if you haven't done all that fun stuff, and just a lot to tackle today. So we'll dive right into it. Apparently it started recording when I came in the room, so we're good to go there. So I'll just answer the first question. Will these be recorded? Absolutely. So I know life can be busy sometimes. It's that time of the year where people get sick. You know, maybe your kids have a sporting event, you have something that comes up. That's okay. Just please let me know ahead of time, and make sure you watch the recording. You will be accountable for everything that's said. So, say I say in the last 3 classes, a really important announcement, which of course I'd say it through Canvas as well. But you can't claim the, oh, I didn't know this, but you haven't came to class all semester. So make sure you are watching these recordings if you can't come to class. It is super important that you do attend these sessions, even though you might not be the presenter, because that's how you're going to really understand these topics. It's good to have support, right? I mean, no one wants to work really hard on a presentation and no one in your class shows up or engages, right? Maybe some of you are like, yeah, that'd be great if I presented to an empty room. But that's not my intention, right? You worked really hard on this, and I think that not only do you learn best when you present, but I think your classmates will really benefit from learning from everybody else. So let me just get to what I'm saying. For this class, it's going to be very different than any of the other classes you take with me, because you all are the presenters for this class. Some of you might have saw the email that I sent out last week, asking you to sign up for different roles or assignments or what you want to present on. That's okay if you didn't respond to that, or you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So we have about 7 or 8 topics this semester that relate to health and society. And you all will get an opportunity to have a 20-30 minute presentation on it. And I'll just be honest, last semester, even when students were just presenting individually, uh, it basically took the whole class, because like students were just so engaged in the topic, had great discussions, we're doing all this stuff. So hopefully you like this class, because it's a lot of you talking, not me talking the whole time. So, and if you don't like talking, you just really have to give a presentation one time and then you get to listen to everybody else. So let me start off by just pulling up the class page, and we'll go from there. Actually, I should introduce myself real quick. Nothing super exciting. I know a lot of you have had me before, but I'm seeing a lot of faces that I haven't had. So my name is Dr. Watchering. This is going to be the end of my first full year here at University of Tennessee. Sorry to the people like Rebecca and Aaron who had me my first semester here. I was just thrown right into it and was in survival mode. Just kidding. But hopefully the classes have a little more structure now and you enjoy it. But I was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio. I actually went to school with Dr. Perrion. Her and I both have our PhDs in health education together. We both actually took our CHES exam together the same day. We're standing out in the parking lot checking our results at the same time. So her and I have a lot in common, very similar teaching styles and layout for class. So you shouldn't be too confused. Our classes open on Monday right at midnight and close. Everything will be due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So you have all week to work on it. And for the bigger assignments, I tend to open them up early so you can look at it early and get it done with. So heard from somebody, I won't reveal who it is, but I heard someone in this class is already working on the 15-page paper, so good for you. Yeah, you're smiling, you know who you are. So, yeah, way to be motivated for that. Yeah, your professors and I talked, so, always good things though, right? So, always to find things in this class, you're just going to click on modules. This shouldn't be anything groundbreaking. You should have had the opportunity to go through module 0 already. Nothing too crazy in here. But if you do have questions or comments, feel free to put them in the question and answer forum. And if you were in my 520 class already today, I'm probably going to just make a Teams page again for this class. You can put questions and answers there. It's more real life. You can communicate with groups. I just think it's a really fun, easy way to ask questions and share information on that. So that's really all you need to know there. Course syllabus, campus syllabus. Let me actually then just jump over real quick to the syllabus tab. So you can see the syllabus right here, everything you need to know. There is no book for this class. And this is the list of when we will meet through Zoom. So I think it's kind of pretty balanced. So, you know, you have about 2 weeks on, 1 week off, rotates a little bit. And then towards the end, we're done April 23rd with meetings. So here's all the topics that we'll have in this class. Privilege, discrimination, genetics, stress and health, poverty, aging in place. As you can see, you know, lots of fun topics that we'll have in this class. And I've already got a lot of brave people who have volunteered to already, I think the top 2 are already accounted for. So we'll talk a little bit about what that is. But we have a lot of fun stuff to cover. And those aren't the only topics. Those are just the only topics where we have student presentations. And then of course, on these other weeks, there's other topics that we just won't have a presentation on for that. So just wanted you to put that in your calendar, know when we meet, when we don't meet for that. So let's go back to modules real quick. This is what I was talking about here. This is the big assignment in this class. And I don't think it's fair to have you write a whole section of something, unless if you're in my assessment and planning class, you kind of have to write a new section every week. But for this class, you know, I'm not going to have it just release the week it's due. So if you want to, get a head start on this final paper. I wasn't mocking the student who was already starting. I think that's incredible. That's probably what I would have done as a student. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pick a topic in this class. And good news, last semester it was 15 to 20 pages, and now it's only 10 to 15. So you're welcome for that. But throughout the semester, we're just going to grow on this paper, right? You're going to write the introduction, the social ideology, a theory section, conclusion section, and then you're going to combine it all. And you might be wondering, well, what are some health conditions that I can write about? I have a list for you. Dr. Rosmano and I actually both teach this class together, and we have the exact same list. And these are just some health disparities that we are very well aware of, documented in the literature. So feel free to use any of these. I already did have a student email me already. Can't remember who it was. But someone in this class actually already emailed me asking if they could pick a topic that wasn't on the list. And I said, absolutely, that's a great one. Thank you. I would love to have that. So feel free to pick any topic on the list, or if you have a disparity that you want to write about for your topic, you can do that as well. I have a question. Where on Canvas can we see what presentation group topic we're assigned to? Nowhere. It is not on Canvas. That's a great question. I haven't uploaded it yet because there's still a lot of people who haven't signed up yet. So let me pull that up real quick. And I really don't know a way to do this. Unless if you see something and I can save the chat. I'm going to pull up that paper, and if you don't have anything yet, feel free to write in the chat what you're interested in presenting, and I'll kind of just go through and then assign based off that. Or if you really don't care, can you just write in the chat like I don't care either, and I'll just put you to whatever. But thank you. Let's actually dive into that, because I'm sure that's what you're all wondering. What am I going to present and what date? So give me a second. Excellent question. I have so many documents. Okay, class presentations. Okay, so sorry if you did not see this yet. I try to just get a head start on it with some people presenting January 30th and February 13th. I just think that's the only fair way to really do it, because I know it can be stressful to present on something when you only have a week to do it. So let me pull that up for you. Okay. All right, so good news here. It's actually funny, some of you volunteered other people to be your partners and we're like, oh, I didn't even realize that. So hopefully it was, all in good spirits there. But so we have the first two topics covered. If you see your name there, I'm going to discuss what I actually hope to see with these presentations. And I think I sent the first two groups emails already. Group 3, did I send you an email yet, or am I making that up? Am I sounding better than I actually am? Laura, did I send you anything yet? I don't think, did I? Okay, perfect. Okay, so the first two groups do have emails with each other. Great. And then once all the other groups get assigned, I will send that out there. Okay, all right, we're gonna add Margaret to genetics. Did I miss that one already? All right, perfect. So I'm gonna type you in right there. Okay. Yeah, this is working great. If you guys just want to do this. Poverty and health is already spoken for. We do need 2 people for aging in place, 2 people for racial inequities. Is anyone interested in that?
I can do aging in place.
Okay, aging in place.
Can I do racial inequity?
You said the same thing, aging in place, Brianna? No, you want to do racial inequities? Okay, perfect. Oops, I'm missing. Sorry, Megan, did I get you down? You guys are all moving too fast. Okay, all right. I will just save this. So we have racial inequities. I don't want to spend the whole class doing this. I'll go back to the chat. No one wants to do gender and inequality and equity, which I think that's always a really fun one too. So you just want to put in the chat anything that you want to work on, or for those of you who don't care, that's great as well. But so again, we still have a few. Sorry if I completely missed you in the chat or jumped someone that was not intentional. So I will try to go in order from the chat once that's there. I panic under pressure, so I'll just do that privately. So sorry for that. Okay, thank you, Morgan. All right, I will get that all taken care of, and then I'll send out the list. And if you absolutely hate what you're assigned to, no big deal. Some groups might end up having a 4th person in it. Okay, so thank you, everyone. I'll look through the chat after you go through there. So once I get that completed, I will upload it to Canvas, and then I will email you all. And what I'll do is, so I'm doing this in my 520 class, I will then send a group email to everybody. So I'm making this up, say Erin, Charlie, and Kristen are in a group together. All 3 of you will get an email. Hi, this is your group. Here's everybody's email addresses. This is your topic. Here's an article that might help you. Let me know if you have any questions. So you all should be getting that. I don't know, I'd like to say tomorrow, but life can be crazy. You'll get it by the end of this week, huh? So just be patient for that. But I do know the first 2 groups were just my priority with getting that out there. So let's go back to the class. Any questions before I move on to the next topic? Did I miss anything in the chat? Okay. Perfect. All right, so you might be going, okay, that's great. I have a topic. I know who's in my group, but what am I doing? And I just jumped around a little bit. Let me get back to this paper after I talk about this. So for this class, you're going to present on a topic, and I have the submission. Let's see. I have to find my screen real quick. Student-led presentation right there in front of me. So what you will do is, as part of your grade in this class, you will attend these sessions. Failure to attend class will result in a 2-point deduction each time you miss. Obviously, you're not going to be able to make it to everyone. If you let me know in advance, hey, I'm out of town for work, or my kid has bronchitis, I don't know, whatever it is, that's fine. Let me know ahead of time. Treat this as it's your employer, you're calling in sick to work, and you'll get an excused absence. But if you just don't come all semester, you're going to have a lot of points deducted throughout the class. So make sure that you let me know. I had a student last semester who was like, I really had no idea these classes were mandatory. Like, should I drop the class? super good student, needed this to graduate. And I was like, well, what's your dilemma? They were traveling for work and they were gonna miss 3 classes. I was like, absolutely not. Just make sure you watch the recordings, let me know ahead of time. So that's why I just have the prior, don't panic. Do your best, obviously, to be here, but if you have to miss a week or two, it's okay. Just let me know ahead of time. So I really hope that these presentations are interactive and fun. And I always ask you, like, this is how I know if it's a good presentation or not. I always try to practice it ahead of time. Sometimes you don't have time to, sometimes you do, but if you're practicing it, I did this with my dissertation, right? And I know, of course, it's going to be a little boring at points, but I probably practiced it orally probably about 20 times in front of different groups and classrooms, my parents, anyone who would listen to me. And if I was getting bored, I'm sure everybody else is getting bored. And if they're getting bored, they're not thinking about your topic, they're not learning. So if you're, a good rule of thumb is if you're presenting on something and you're just reading slide, they're already lost. They're not paying attention anymore. Try to throw in a video clip or a discussion or an activity or things like that and keep people engaged. I will say, I would say 9 out of 10 last semester were just awesome, knocked it out of the park, right? Like, I'm trying to think for, I think it was a poverty lesson. We did like an interactive game and we watched a video and they shared real life stories and we did questions and they took us, like, it was just really fun. We learned a lot. We had an opportunity to share. And then another group, this is exactly what they did. And I say this so you don't do it. The article that I shared is basically kind of just to guide you, like, oh, here's your topic, stress and health. Like, here's a really cool study about stress and health that you might want to mention, or, you can read this, so you can learn about it. And then all they did was copy and paste like sections of the article in their slides and then just read it. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of a waste of people's time, right? Because they can read the article on their own. We're not here to read the article as a group. Some of you might not have time to read the article because we meet on Tuesday nights, right? So you can explain the article, talk about highlights, what you thought was important, and then move on from there. You shouldn't read an article for 20 minutes, if that makes sense there. Also, rule of thumb when you are presenting, like if you have a block of text that's like 15, 16, 17 sentences long, no one's reading that and no one's paying attention to what you're saying. So try to be concise, have those bullets, and I think they were the only group who didn't take advantage of emailing me their slides ahead of time. I love presenting. I love presentations. That's probably like my favorite part. If I could just, teach or educate or do things, I would love to do that over writing research articles. And, like that's not my area of expertise. So I'd love to look at your presentations, maybe help you find an activity or a video, give you my feedback. Just, of course, get it to me ahead of time. So we don't make that mistake. But does that make sense? Kind of what I'm looking for there. You have creativity to do whatever you want. I sent the first group and maybe the second group a video recording of a past presenter and what their presentation looked like. So you all will be able to experience, these sessions before you present yours. So hopefully you'll feel more confident for it. These aren't scary. We're all friends. And of course, if you can just be interactive like you all are right now, like I love the cameras on. I love that you're, giving me facial feedback and stuff. And if you could just do that for your peers, I think it'll really go a long way. So that's all I really ask for that. That you're present, you try to, answer questions or discuss or share something. At least if you can speak up once per class, that's great. I know sometimes maybe it's not just your topic or you're more shy, that's okay too. Utilize the chat or just, be a supportive person there. So let me go back to the rubric real quick with that. It's pretty basic, but content, excellent presentation of the message. All facts are accurate and correct. So, if you say something like, I don't know, I'm trying to make this up. Alzheimer's disease is the leading cause of death. No, it's not. Don't say that, right? It's a top 10 leading cause of death, but like I would just know right off the top of my head you're making that up, right? So make sure like if you're saying something, it's cited and it's true. I don't know why anyone would do that, but you're just citing things correctly. You're if you're using definitions and things like that, they're appropriate. Presentation's excellent. Professional side, they're clear, readable, they're organized, the person knows what they're talking about. It's not like people are going back and forth like, Katie, you're supposed to present. This guy's like, no, it's Megan. And like, it's just awkward for 5 minutes. Like, make sure you know what you're supposed to talk about there. Believe me, that happens sometimes. technical production. So you're loud enough, you're speaking clearly, people can hear you. A lot of people do use videos, and I will say that's probably the most stressful part of this class. When everyone comes to present, I usually open the room up about like 5 minutes early just for the presenters, and I say, how are you feeling? Do you want to practice your screen sharing? Do you have any questions? And they go, I just want to make sure the volume works for the video. And a lot of students actually did this. They just incorporated it in their slide. So when they clicked on it in their PowerPoint presentation, it just popped up and there were never any issues with sound sharing. So feel free to, so make sure you practice that ahead of time if that is something you were doing. I know something I do sometimes is I'll like put another laptop in like another room in the house and make sure, you know, it goes through or something like that, or see if a friend on the other end can hear it. Or if you're not crazy like me and you're just like, it's not that hard, then great, you'll be good to go. And then just the presentation is about 20 to 30 minutes in length. If you go over, you will not be in trouble for that. But if you're done in like 6 minutes, I'd kind of be like, uh-oh, you know, is that all you have? Like, this is supposed to be the beef of the class there. So, you know, if it's a great discussion or people are really enjoying the video clip or something, don't just be like, okay, well, we have to pause it now to stay in the time frame. Don't worry about that. I would rather have a really good discussion keep going than to cut it short just to, you know, make sure we're done in 20 to 30 minutes there. For the file would not play, that's just, you know, if you have, like, make sure your links work if you're trying to do something like that. I don't think I would give you straight up a 0, but like, say you're like, you know, I want to show a video and then the video doesn't work and then you don't remember what the video is and you can't summarize it. Like, so just make sure everything's working good for that. Right, any questions or comments about that? Okay, I think it should be pretty fun. Have it interactive, communicate with me ahead of time. Trying to think of anything else really with that. I think this is just a really fun, more chill class. So I really hope that you all enjoy this. And so then let me just go to, I'll do a couple more things. So I keep going back to modules, that's where you'll go. This is the final paper I was talking about and then got distracted. So your introduction section is not due until March 24th. So you have plenty of time if you want to maybe get stuff done in another class before you focus on this, or if you just want to get this done, feel free to do this. I would suggest though, if you are working ahead of time, please submit section by section, because I would feel terrible if you wrote your whole entire paper, sent it to me, and then I'm like, oh, you did something terribly wrong, and you have to rewrite it all. Get me a sample of what your introduction section looks like so I can see your writing quality, your citations, stuff like that. Make sure you're adequately doing it, and then I'll give you the heads up, okay, give you a grade, move on from that, and then we can go from there. If you do have it done like 2 weeks from now, just submit it through Canvas. Like, you don't have to really email me unless if you have questions about it, of course, and you're like, hey, can you look over this section? But if you feel pretty confident, just submit it and I can get you a grade and we can go on. But if you do submit it like a month early for say, and there's some stuff that needs corrected, I just won't grade it. I'll just personally message you the feedback and say, re-upload a new one by the due date if you want to make these edits. But up to you what you want to do there. So again, for the introduction, you're just talking about what your topic is. You address the key issues clearly by describing the incidence and prevalence of the disease and disparity. So you're just giving a background, an introduction about what is this topic, who does it impact, why is it a problem, things like that. Make sure you're citing peer-reviewed journal articles, appropriate websites, you're bringing public health into it. And I do have an example for you, I think, and if not, I will make sure I post one. And I am writing notes for myself all day. When I talk out loud, I find things that I'm supposed to do. Nope, I don't have an example. So last semester was the first time I taught this class, and I now finally have examples to share. So I will upload a final paper example for you all from a student who did a really good job last semester. Just give me a second to write this down in a coherent way so I remember to do it. All right. And then this week, all we have to do is go through some reading. So as I mentioned, we don't have a book in this class. And one thing that you will find throughout the semester is I will always have the activities and everything that are due there, but that's not what I wanted to share with you. Dr. Jackson Tree. Did anyone have Dr. Jackson Tree throughout the program or for any courses? I know Dr. Jackson Tree taught a lot in person and actually it's just like an expert in a lot of these topics. And Dr. Jackson Tree created a lot of just short introduction videos talking about them. And you know, when I first taught this class last semester, I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna keep them. She did a really good job creating these videos, super knowledgeable, has a lot. And then I asked my class last semester, I'm like, was it confusing having Dr. Jackson Tree's introduction videos? Would you like me to create them? And like everyone was just like, please do not delete Dr. Jackson Tree's videos. Like they were awesome. I learned so much. Like, and they're just short videos at the beginning of the module. And I love watching them too. I think they're really good. And I could just re-record them, but everyone seemed to like it. So if you're confused, why is this person talking? That's why. And you know, they have the fancy video beginning in there. So yeah, so much passion. Jessica, great presenter. So yeah, if you've seen Dr. Jackson Tree in seminar, you know who that is. And so you have the you know, opportunity to learn from Dr. Jackson Tree as well in this class, which I think is really cool because she created this class to help another professor who was supposed to teach it online, and then they don't teach here anymore. So I was like, oh, hey, well, this is what I have. So lots of articles to read throughout the semester. Some are old, some are new, but some are really concrete to public health and what these topics are. So I even do believe that in one of, I think it was in stress and health, there's like a study from like the 1970s or something, just because it's so critical to looking at cardiovascular disease and health and things like that. So lots of readings just through articles. If you have something that you came across that you think would be excellent, please just put it in the Teams account or share it with me, and I'd love to add it to a future course. If you're like, this article I just read would be perfect. We have like just random activities in the class. These should be relaxing, fun activities to do. And you'll notice for a lot of these, you get multiple attempts. So it's just inequalities in health terminology. You get to go through it. I always make the mistake of showing you and then all the answers pop up. So just look through this assignment. If you don't do as great as you wanted to in the first time, take it again. And then we're gonna watch a video called Unnatural Causes, Is Inequality Making Us Sick? Click on the video if you're having issues watching or finding it, please let me know. And just answer the questions the best of your ability. How you think is the best way to answer it. I'm not gonna judge you on that as long as you watch the film and are doing your best there. And then for the first group who is presenting next week, you're just gonna upload your presentation right here. Just one person per group needs to do that. And again, please, since you're presenting next week, if you have to email me Tuesday morning because you don't have much time to get it done, I'll look over it Tuesday morning and make it my priority to give you feedback for that. But for other groups, if you could give me at least a day or two, that would be ideal there. So everything will just go module through module throughout the semester, except for you will be able to see the final paper and submissions there. The only other big topic that we have that just isn't in a module, which I will release sooner, is this public service announcement assignment. And I actually made it into a discussion post because everyone just did so great last semester. So whatever your topic is, whatever disparity you pick, you're going to create, I think everyone used like Canva last semester, but you're just gonna create like or you can make a narrated PowerPoint slide video or whatever works for you, but you're just gonna make a short PSA for everybody to watch. And I will put examples on here for you as well, but it's fun to be in a discussion board so you can see everybody else's. And then the only thing I added this semester was this part right here. You're just going to then make an additional recording, just like saying like who your target population is, what you hope they get out of it, stuff like that. So we'll talk about that more, but just for those of you who are creative and you know want to do more, we have the PSA opportunity in this class too. Okay, let me see. Okay, good. I'm glad you all are liking the documentary, and I'm glad that you all are liking Dr. Jackson Tree. So thank you for that in the chat. So does anyone have any questions or comments now about anything? Okay.
I have
Well,
a question. Oh, sorry. I have
no,
a
go.
question about the presentations and stuff. Are we at any point gonna like fill out a like a review of the different presentations to talk about like what we learned, like I guess rating like the presentation or whatever from other people's
like
presentation.
feedback from us
Yeah.
who watch it. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Laura.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I've never had people do that in the past, but I think that's a great idea because that is one thing. I think people really learn best. I know it can be hard sometimes, but when people kind of give feedback on things like what they did well, what can be improved on, and things like that, like I'll be honest, when I first, I'm not the best teacher in the world by any means, but when the first time, yeah, it could be this, yeah, we could have it be a discussion post that week or something, or what come up with, that's your next assignment, come up with something we can do. If everyone likes a discussion post, we can do that. And I think I can even put like make it be like an anonymous tracking if you're like, I mean, no one would say anything mean, but we do learn best when people give us feedback. So the first time I ever taught a lesson, I was guest lecturing in a death and dying class for who was actually my dissertation chair, amazing professor. And I had to teach a class, I don't even remember what the topic was, but he sat in the back of the room, you know, just writing the whole entire time. I'm like, what on earth is he writing about? And after the class, like I felt pretty good, right? I practiced really hard, like I was cool, I had jokes, like, you know, I had good stuff going, right? And then we sit in like the lunchroom at the end and he just pulled out like this notepad of paper, 3 pages long, ready everything I did bad. Like there was maybe like one positive thing that I don't want you guys to do that, right? But like there was a couple positive things, but like he was right. I was like, I didn't realize I did that, or you're right, that slide would be much more better, or that would be much more engaging. That would be a fun activity to do, right? And I think that is how we improve. And it's good to like for people to tell you like that activity was awesome, that was so much fun, or like thank you for sharing that. I didn't really know that about privilege and I applied this in my life. So I think that's a great opportunity. I always like the discussion post after seminar because different people get different takeaways from presentation. Yeah, I agree about that. What for a seminar, was it for points or no?
I mean, honestly, for seminar, it's like one of the few things you're really required to do is
Okay.
that when you see the presentations from the different outside speakers,
Yeah.
your assignment that week is you have to go in and post on the discussion board and just things you took away, feedback, you know, things you liked. And I just always, I mean, I found that very interesting because people would have takeaways that I didn't even catch or
Right,
so.
right. No, that makes sense. 1 second. Let's do that. We will have the discussion board. What I'll actually do is, I will have you, I'm gonna change the way that you submit your topic, and that'll be the discussion board. You'll submit it in that discussion board, so everyone can look and see your presentation there. And then that's where people can go to make comments. So, and then I'll put the recording in there as well, so everybody can do that. And then, you know, if someone has time to do it, you know, great, and that person can go back and look at it all. So, we will do that. If that works for everybody, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let me see. I know some people are still messaging me some things about the presentation list, so I will go over that after class is over. Feel free to say on if you're like, I want to change my topic or something like that, because I know a lot of people are sending me messages direct or to the group and I don't want to lose it. So that's all I really have for today. The group 1, if you have any questions about your presentation or you know you have questions, feel free to stick around. Group 2, whoever. If you don't, feel free to go. If you want to talk about the presentation, what topic you want, feel free to say. If you have any questions for me, feel free to say. But before I let you go, I know this was a short, fun class. Maybe not fun, but it's a short class. Does anyone have any questions that they think the group could benefit from that they want to ask?
Sorry, I have another question.
Go for it, yeah.
For the topics for the final paper, can we email you if we have like a topic idea? And will you tell us if you think there's enough like literature about like whether, you know, the disease state and then also how it affects society and all of that stuff. Do you
Yeah,
want
so like, yeah, so if there's a topic you're passionate about, and you're like, I don't know if this is really a disparity, can you, yeah, absolutely, that's completely fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great idea. For sure. Anyone else? Okay. Velcro dogs. All right, so thank you for joining. I'm going to end here. Feel free to go, and otherwise feel free to stay on. I'll just keep this going. I'll, go through the order with people who sent their requests about what they can do. Otherwise I will see you next Tuesday. Who's presenting next week? We have, yeah, the awesome group going. So stick around if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great night, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Take care.
Thanks, Doc.
Yep, see ya.